Hello, welcome to November 12th, 2024. I'm Kurt, and this is my daily good life meditation. Something that I do every morning, a little bit after waking up, to remember my life objectives and principles. Those which are all in my book, Going Alone. I also use this time to think about, I'm winded, the last 24 hours, and how I did with the challenges and opportunities that I met. I plan for the coming day, and I ready myself for death. Oh, and I recite the 8 objectives of my creed. All right, so last night, I was so tired. I went to bed at like 6 p.m., so I had a long night at sleep. Got up once in the middle of the night, stepped outside, the cold in the desert, just soaked up the utter dark. It was good to do that. Soak up the last bits of this. Just, less than a month now, I think, for this. So, 29 days, I think. Yesterday was a consequential day. So much was done. I found a buyer for my wife's car. Trevor's going to buy it. So I'll make the handoff on the 7th of December, a day that will live in infamy. Shouldn't joke. I also received my visa from the Japanese government, so allowing me to come live in Japan. That was the one piece of the puzzle that really needed to happen. For some reason, I had these worries, as I mentioned in yesterday's meditation, worries about the letter being lost in the mail. It was coming in a letter, or something bad happening, or being rejected or something. But it fell into place. So now it's just a matter of getting rid of the car, which happened the same day, at least in theory, and at least in agreement. And then now I just need to, wow. Well, what I'm going to do is I've decided to stay here. I was going to move to an Airbnb closer to the airport, but I decided I want to stay here. I don't want to do that. Instead of, because the reason I was going to leave is that I'm worried about getting snowed in or heavy rains coming in and turning this road here, which is the access road, back to the main road into a slippery mud puddle. Well, with the Prius gone, what I'm going to do is rent a car. And I think I'll rent a 4-wheel drive, or at minimum an all-wheel drive, maybe a Subaru or something like that. They can better handle this. I also checked the historical weather for this area, the Chihuahua Valley. And it's basically, the heavy snows won't arrive until January, February. Maybe some snow in late December, and I'll be out of here by the 18th of December. So I think I'm covered in that capacity. So I don't have to reserve an Airbnb, but I do need to rent a car. So I've decided on an Enterprise rental car. I'll contact Enterprise today. I know there's Turo and stuff like that, but I have to return it to the owner. Enterprise, I can just drop it off, or any major rental agency, I can just drop the car off at the airport. Because what's got to happen is the day that we fly, the 18th, Rudy and I, the little dog, will drive from here down to LAX in about 6 p.m. I'll do a handoff at a hotel near the airport to the pet shipper, who will then prepare Rudy to be board the plane that leaves about 1 a.m. So it's 6 p.m. drop off, and then 1 a.m. departure. So I'll want to be I'm going to try to fly on the same plane. I want to be getting on boarding. I want to be there like 2.5 hours, 3 hours ahead of time in the airport to make sure I get on. That'll leave me with about 3 hours to take the rental car back to the Enterprise or whatever I use, drop it off. There's one right there in LAX, and then I can take an Uber or an airport shuttle with my bags, my 2 suitcases, to the airport, Tom Bradley Terminal, and get on the darn plane and go. So that's the logistics. I do need to do one thing to drop off my badge, my computer. I think they'll let me keep the shirt. This is where I work. But I can do all of that. That'll be on the 12th, the week before. See, it's all planned out. And boy, just a month ago or 2 months ago, it was all this stress-inducing mystery, which I've learned is you just push through, right? You just make it happen. So that was yesterday. It was a good day. That's why I was so tired, because I did so much. All right, my creed consists of 8 objectives: to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of my time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to recognize my true limits and true opportunities, to do just one thing at a time, and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, and to keep my balance. As for today, it's a day of work, so you company man, my first meeting will be starting up in about 20 minutes, so I'll finish this one circuit through the desert, go back, take my seat at the desk, make a cup of coffee, take my seat at the desk, start my day of work. Am I ready for death? My affairs are in order, my relationships are indeed sound, and my life's work should be complete. She, truly, being my daughter, she's grown and on her own. And then my book. Okay, that's all there is. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care.